Beloved, listen closely. Your heart has been searching. Your soul has been longing, and perhaps you have wondered if love has somehow passed you by. You've watched others meet their partners. You've prayed in silence, and you've questioned, when will it be my turn? But I tell you today, with all certainty, love is not something you chase, nor is it something you beg for. Love is already written into your destiny. The right person already belongs to you, already carries love for you in the invisible realm, and God Himself is leading you step by step toward that appointed meeting. And so let us begin with this eternal truth. Love is already prepared for you in God's divine plan. For you understand that love is not a random accident, not a game of chance, not even a matter of luck, but something divinely prepared. You begin to rest in peace rather than struggle in fear from the very beginning. Before you even took your first breath, God had already designed the threads of your life. He has written your story in His eternal wisdom. That includes the love that is meant for you, the companionship that will enrich your days, and the partner who is woven into your destiny. There is no need to panic or to think that somehow you have missed your opportunity. There is no such thing as missing what God has already ordained. If it belongs to you in His plan, it cannot be taken away. Many people exhaust themselves trying to find love as though it were a treasure buried somewhere in the desert. They chase after faces. They try to manipulate circumstances. They fall into despair when one door closes, but they forget that divine love is never lost. It is already set aside for them, waiting in the right time and in the right place. Imagine a garden that has already been planted before you arrive. You step into that garden, and the flowers are blooming. The fruits are ripe. The fragrance fills the air. You did not labor to plant it. You did not toil to water it. Yet it is prepared for you. This is how divine love works. God has already arranged the meeting, the recognition, the union. You may not see it yet, but invisibly, the seeds have already sprouted. Many souls fall into doubt because they measure life by the clock and the calendar. They say, I am too late. I am too old. I have been overlooked. But God does not operate on human time. His time is eternal, and in that eternal plan, everything is perfectly aligned. The one who is meant for you is not somewhere far away in a chaotic maze. They are already positioned by divine intelligence. When you realize this, you stop grasping and start trusting. You move through life with serenity, knowing that you are walking into what has already been prepared. Even if your past was filled with disappointments, even if people abandoned you, even if your heart was broken, none of that cancels the love God has already written for you. Pain does not erase destiny. Tears do not dissolve the divine plan. What is yours is already yours, and no human hand can take it away. Therefore, when you wake up each morning, affirm to yourself, love is already prepared for me in God's divine plan. I am walking toward it now. This simple affirmation lifts you out of fear and brings you into alignment with truth. You stop doubting, you stop comparing, and you stop chasing shadows. Instead, you allow the divine order to unfold. The key is to understand that you are not incomplete without another person. You are whole in God. When you live in that wholeness, you naturally magnetize the right companion. God does not lead you to love because you are empty. He leads you because you are full of His light, and that light attracts the one who was meant to recognize it. The right person is not simply a body, not simply a name, not simply a partner for convenience. The right person is the one your soul already knows, even if your eyes have not yet seen them. In eternity, that love is already secure. You are not searching for something new. You are walking into something that has been divinely prepared. So do not doubt, do not waver, do not think you are forgotten. The universe remembers you. God remembers you. Love has already been written into your story, and nothing can erase it. You don't chase love, you align with it. Chasing love is the mistake that drains countless hearts. When you chase, you confess that love is running from you, that it is distant, that it is outside of your reach. But love does not run. Love is not hiding. Love is not playing a cruel game with you. Love is already present, waiting for you to tune your heart to its frequency. Alignment means that you come into harmony with the vibration of love, the divine current that already flows through the universe. Instead of searching desperately outside yourself, you begin by cultivating peace, gratitude, and self-respect within. You align your thoughts with the truth that you are already loved by God, already worthy, already whole. From that place of inner harmony, you naturally attract the one who is attuned to the same vibration. Think of a radio station. You don't chase the music across the air. You tune the dial until the frequency becomes clear. In the same way, you don't run after love. You tune your heart until you are aligned with divine love. When you are aligned, the right person comes into your life as if drawn by a magnetic force. You don't have to manipulate, beg, or compromise. Love flows toward you effortlessly, because you are resonating with it. Chasing, on the other hand, creates resistance. When you chase, you often lower your standards, accept less than you deserve, or fall into unhealthy patterns. You begin to see rejection as a reflection of your worth. When in truth, rejection is only redirection. God is steering you away from what was never meant for you. Alignment allows you to wait in peace rather than panic. You walk with assurance, knowing that the right person cannot miss you, because your paths are already converging in divine timing. When you align, you don't cling to outcomes. You live joyfully in the present, blooming where you are, and in that blooming, love notices you. Alignment also means you trust God's wisdom more than your own urgency. You may think, I need to act fast, or I will lose my chance. But alignment whispers, be still, love is already yours. You rest in the knowledge that what is meant for you cannot be taken, delayed, or destroyed. So rather than chasing after people, chasing after approval, or chasing after affection, learn to align yourself with the eternal truth. Love flows to those who are still enough to receive it. It is not about frantic activity, but about quiet certainty. It is not about trying to prove your worth, but about knowing your worth in God. When you align, your actions change. You begin to walk with dignity. You speak with confidence. You carry yourself with light, and those who are not meant for you naturally drift away, while the right person is drawn closer. The right love does not exhaust you. It affirms you. It does not drain you. It replenishes you. Remember, you don't chase love. You become love. You radiate love. You live in love. And when you do, the right person is magnetized to you. Because like recognizes like, the fragrance of your spirit becomes irresistible. And the one who is already connected to your soul in the divine plan will find you without fail. Fear and impatience block divine timing. There is a law at work in the universe, a law of divine order. When you align yourself with this law, everything flows in harmony. But when fear and impatience enter the heart, they disturb the current, and what was meant to come easily feels delayed. Fear whispers, "What if it never happened? What if I'm forgotten? What if I miss my chance?" Impatience says, "I can't wait any longer. I must force this to happen now." Both of these states of mind act as barriers, not because God withholds blessings, but because fear and impatience block your ability to receive. Imagine a farmer planting seeds in the ground. If he fears that the seeds may never sprout, and out of impatience digs them up every few days to check their progress, he destroys the very growth he longs to see. Love, like a seed, requires trust and timing. You may not see movement on the surface, but underground, roots are forming, life is stirring, and at the appointed time the plant emerges. In the same way, God's plan for your love story is unfolding even when your eyes cannot detect it. Fear often disguises itself as preparation. People rush into relationships, grasp at the first option, or cling to someone who doesn't honor them because they fear being alone. Impatience pushes them to accept less than God's best. But what looks like settling is really resistance to divine timing. When you move ahead of God, you enter situations that drain you rather than uplift you. To overcome fear and impatience, you must anchor yourself in the truth that God has not forgotten you. Fear comes from the illusion of abandonment, as if heaven has overlooked your name. Impatience comes from mistrust, as though God were too slow or inattentive. But both are lies. The divine plan is unfolding with precision, and every delay is not a denial but a preparation. Consider how many disasters have been prevented in your life by delay. You thought you were ready, but God knew you needed growth. You thought someone was right for you, but God spared you from pain. What seemed like waiting was really protection. The time of waiting shapes you, builds you, and makes you capable of receiving love with maturity and wisdom. When fear and impatience arise, the best response is stillness. Instead of asking, "When will it happen?" shift the question to, "What is God shaping in me right now?" Each season has purpose. Winter teaches patience. Spring brings renewal. Summer bears fruit. Autumn offers reflection. If you skip the seasons, you ruin the harvest. Fear and impatience are signals that your trust is being tested. They are opportunities to choose faith over panic. When you feel yourself rushing, remind yourself, "If I push ahead, I will create my own sorrow. If I rest in trust, I will walk into God's perfect gift." Divine timing is never late and never early. It is always precise. Therefore, silence fear with affirmation. Love is on its way to me now in God's perfect time. I rest. I trust. I wait with joy. Replace impatience with gratitude. Every day is preparing me for the love that is already mine. In this way, you open the channel for God's blessings to flow freely, without obstruction. The right person already recognizes your spirit. There's a truth deeper than the eyes can see, and the ears can hear. Long before words are spoken, long before hands touch, souls recognize each other. The right person does not fall in love with your appearance first, nor with your possessions, nor with your status, but with your spirit. It is a recognition that transcends logic. It is as if they say, "I know you, though I have never seen you before. I have found what my soul has been seeking." This recognition is not created in the moment you meet. It already exists. The one who is destined for you carries within them a knowing of your essence. Just as a magnet is drawn to its counterpart, so too the right person is already tuned to your frequency. When you finally meet, it will not feel like a beginning, but a continuation, as though you have simply arrived where you always belonged. Many people chase love by dressing themselves in illusions, pretending to be someone they are not, hiding their true essence, fearing that who they are will not be enough. But the right person is not deceived by masks, nor are they attracted by performance. They are drawn to your spirit, to your authenticity, to the light that God has placed within you. That is why you never need to pretend or lower yourself. The love that is meant for you already knows you, already honors you, already treasures you for what you are. Think of how a melody finds its harmony. When the right notes are played together, they blend into beauty without effort. In the same way, when the right person hears the song of your spirit, they recognize it as the harmony they were created to join. There is no struggle, no forcing, no convincing. It is a natural recognition. The world teaches people to chase after attractiveness, wealth, or status, but these are temporary. Spirit is eternal. What binds two souls together in divine love is recognition of essence, not surface. That is why some connections feel hollow, even when everything seems perfect outwardly, while other connections feel full and alive. Though circumstances are imperfect, spirit recognizes spirit. This recognition is also the reason why timing matters. Sometimes you may meet the right person at the wrong stage, when wounds, fears, or immaturity block the recognition. But when God has prepared both hearts, the recognition is undeniable. It is not about striving to be seen, but about being ready to be recognized. Your task, then, is not to chase or force recognition, but to live in your true light. The right person will not pass you by. They will see what others overlooked. They will value what others dismissed. They will cherish what others failed to understand. And this recognition is not fragile. It endures through trials, for it is rooted in spirit, not circumstance. The right person already knows your worth. They already carry love for you in the invisible realm, waiting only for the divine moment when paths cross. You are not invisible to them. Even across distance and time, their soul leans toward yours, as if drawn by a divine current. One day, when God brings you face to face, you will understand that what you sought was already seeking you, and what you hoped for was already secured in recognition long before you knew it. Love flows naturally, never forced. Love, in its truest and most divine essence, is not something you manufacture, manipulate, or twist into existence. It is not born of pressure or persuasion. Real love, the kind ordained by God, flows with a rhythm as natural as the rising of the sun and the turning of the tides. It does not demand endless proving, nor does it leave you exhausted from constant striving. When love is genuine, it feels like breathing, effortless, life-giving, and in perfect harmony with who you are. Many people exhaust themselves by trying to force love. They cling to relationships that drain them, hoping to make them work by sheer determination. They beg for affection, chase after those who have no intention of staying, or try to change themselves into something they are not, simply to hold on to what was never meant for them. Forced love is heavy. It feels like walking against the wind. It creates tension, anxiety, and fear, because deep down the soul knows it is out of alignment with divine truth. But when love flows naturally, it carries the fragrance of peace. You don't find yourself anxiously questioning every word, wondering if you are enough, or calculating how to hold on. Instead, there is ease, there is trust. There is an effortless knowing that this connection was not created by human willpower, but by divine orchestration. It is not about trying harder. It is about surrendering to what God has already aligned. Think of a river. No one pushes the water forward. It flows because that is its nature. In the same way, true love has a current of its own. It carries you without force, without resistance, without strain. And just as a river nourishes everything along its banks, true love nourishes your soul, feeding your spirit with joy, strength, and peace. When you find yourself forcing, struggling, or endlessly chasing, pause and ask, is this love flowing? Or am I trying to push against divine order? Because what is truly yours will never need to be forced. The right person, the right love, will align with you naturally. They will meet you in spirit, not because you demanded it, but because the timing and the connection are already in place. Love that flows naturally has a quality of mutual recognition. Both hearts move toward each other freely. Both souls contribute without calculation. It is never one-sided or imbalanced. You don't have to beg someone to see your worth, because they already do. You don't have to fight to hold on, because they already desire to stay. And this natural flow also means that even when challenges arise, as they inevitably do in any human relationship, the foundation remains steady. Forced love crumbles under pressure because it was built on effort rather than truth. But natural love endures because its roots are deep, planted in the fertile soil of divine timing and recognition. The key is to allow love to flow rather than forcing its direction. That requires trust, patience, and surrender. It means letting go of attachments that feel heavy, releasing relationships that suffocate, and believing that what is meant for you will come without force. The more you try to control, the more you block the flow. But the more you release, the more freely love moves toward you. Bloom where you are, and love will find you. There is a timeless truth. You do not need to run endlessly in search of love. You do not need to cross oceans or chase shadows to find the one who is meant for you. Your task is to bloom where you are. When a flower blooms, it does not wander across the field looking for the bee. It simply unfolds its petals, radiates its fragrance, and stands tall in its beauty. And inevitably, the bee is drawn to it. The same principle applies to your life. Blooming means becoming fully alive in your present moment. It means cultivating joy, gratitude, and self-respect where you stand. It means growing in your gifts, nourishing your soul, and shining your light without apology. Too many people put their lives on hold, waiting for love to arrive before they feel complete. They say, once I meet the right person, then I will be happy, then I will travel, then I will live fully. But that mindset withholds the very radiance that attracts true love. When you bloom, you attract effortlessly. Love notices those who are alive with purpose, who are rooted in peace, who carry themselves with quiet confidence. Blooming is not about perfection. It is about authenticity. It is about being the fullest version of yourself, trusting that the one who is meant for you will recognize your fragrance. Think of how the sun rises. It does not rise for one specific observer. It rises because it is its nature to shine, and yet everyone benefits from its light. In the same way, when you bloom, you are not performing for someone to notice. You are living as you were created, but in that authenticity, the right person will see you, value you, and be drawn to you. Blooming also means being faithful in the small thing. If you are not at peace in your own company, you will not suddenly find peace when another person enters your life. If you neglect your growth, your dreams, your calling, no partner can fulfill what you have left empty. Blooming is about tending to your own garden first. When you do, you create a life that love can join, not a life that waits to be rescued. And this blooming is not about loudness or striving, even in silence. A flower attracts by its presence alone. Your blooming may be quiet, kindness, gentleness, steady faith, but it is powerful. It is magnetic. The right person will not pass it by, for it is impossible not to notice what is alive and radiant. Many people ask, where do I find love? The answer is, you don't need to go anywhere. You need only to bloom where you are. God knows exactly where you are planted. He knows the soil you are in, the conditions you are facing, the season you are walking through. When the time is right, He will bring the one who is meant to see you right where you are. Bloom where you are, and love will find you. God is the perfect matchmaker. When you surrender your heart to divine wisdom, you realize that no human effort, no dating strategy, no anxious search could ever compare to the orchestration of God. He sees the hidden paths, the unseen connections, the precise timing that aligns two souls in perfect harmony. What may feel accidental to you is intentional to Him. He does not arrange relationships based on fleeting attraction, but on spiritual recognition and lasting purpose. God does not pair you with someone to simply fill time, but to help you grow, flourish, and walk in destiny. When He writes the story, there is no confusion, no endless cycle of rejection and heartbreak. There is clarity, peace, and assurance. True love brings peace, not struggle. One of the surest signs of love aligned with God is the presence of peace. Love that is true does not torment you with constant fear, insecurity, or exhaustion. It does not demand you to shrink or compromise your worth just to be accepted. Instead, it uplifts, strengthens, and makes you feel safe. Peace is the language of divine love. Where there is endless drama, manipulation, or striving, love has been replaced with illusion. But when love is real, it settles the storm inside you, quiets doubt, and anchors your heart in confidence. It feels like rest after a long journey, like finding home after wandering. Daily affirmations magnetize divine love. What you declare with faith shapes the atmosphere around you, for words carry power and energy. When you speak daily affirmations rooted in God's truth, you align your heart with the vibration of love that is already yours. Saying, I am worthy of love, I am guided by God, the right person already loves me, is not mere repetition. It is planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Each affirmation dissolves fear, uproots doubt, and replaces impurity with trust. Just as the sun draws forth blossoms from the earth, affirmations draw forth the reality of love already prepared for you. The more you affirm, the more your spirit radiates certainty, and in that radiance, you magnetize the right soul to your life. Trust God's timing. He will lead you there. The greatest test of faith is patience, for love is not rushed by human desire, but revealed in divine order. Trusting God's timing means releasing your grip on control and believing that He knows the exact moment your paths must cross. Just as stars appear only in the night sky, love arrives in the season prepared for it. Impatience may tempt you to settle, but trust holds you steady, knowing that God is never late and never mistaken. When you lean into His timing, you walk in peace, confident that every step is drawing you closer to the person already chosen for you. Now let us gather everything we have journeyed through together. You have learned that love is already secured in God's plan, that it cannot be missed, stolen, or lost. You know now that you do not chase love. You align with it. Fear and impatience only build walls, while trust and stillness open doors. The right person already recognizes your spirit, and love that is true will flow naturally without force. You are called to bloom where you are planted, knowing that love will notice your fragrance, for God is the perfect matchmaker, and the proof of divine love is peace, not struggle. Daily affirmations create the magnetic pull of faith, and above all, the greatest assurance is this: when you trust God's timing, you can rest, knowing He will lead you there. So walk with confidence, live in joy, and remember this message has come to you because you were meant to hear it. Love is already yours, waiting in divine order. And as always, you are welcome here at Channel Name, where we share truths that awaken your heart and guide your spirit.